Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from KMD2 and we will present about scandal of the Perwaja Steel Sdn Bhd in court subject of MHC 3023. My name is Fatinusna binti Muzaffar and my metric number is 1192308.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurhayati binti Kasim. Metric number 1192818.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Najwa binti Muhammad Zaidi. My metric number 1192819.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Aimi Nadira binti Talha and my metric number is 1192824.
Firstly, I would like to explain about background of the Perwaja Steel Sdn Bhd. Perwaja Steel Sdn Bhd was established in 1982 under a heavy industrial policy which it was a state-owned company. They previously known as Perwaja Terengganu Sdn Bhd until it changed its name to Perwaja Steel Sdn Bhd in 1989 with the headquarters in Kuala Lumpur. It is a subsidiary of Heavy Industries Corporation of Malaysia and also a holding company for investment. The company have two major of car factories which is in Kemaman, Terengganu and Gurun Kedah. Perwaja Steel Sdn Bhd is a manufacturer of primary and larger of steel products. Next, they also manufactures and sells direct reduced iron and semi-finished long steel products to downstream companies in Indonesia, Asia and Middle East. They are also capable of producing 1,500,000 metric tons of steel annually, and they produce the product that used in manufacturing, construction and infrastructure industries. In general, scandal of Perwaja Steel Sdn Bhd is about the collaboration between Highcom Berhad and Nippon Steel, a steel company from Japan, during the reign of Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad. Since its inception, Perwaja has often been associated with money laundering scandals and it fought with losses. In 1986, as a result of the country's economic crisis, Perwaja began to record losses in excess of 131 million. Then, Tun Dr. Mahathir appointed Eric Chia to lead the group, but in the end, Perwaja was still burdened with debt due to the decision taken by the company, which did not show any effort to reduce the existing debt.
Now I want to present about the issues related to the Perwaja Steel scandal. Okay, the first issue is accounting fraud. Okay, Perwaja was blamed to create a good financial statement or account just to keep the price share is high. Okay, this situation raised many questions as the losses incurred by the Perwaja increased. Okay, then Perwaja make a doubtful transaction and making payment to non-existing companies. For example, company in Hong Kong. Then non-existing of external auditor who attend related to the losses that Perwaja incurred since in year 1992 until year 1995. Then inefficient of an internal control system within Perwaja. Okay, we move to the second issue, which is misconduct by board of director. Okay, this second issue performing a transaction without the prior approval from the board of director of the tender committee. Then the tender and contract awarding to companies related to CEO himself. There is an element conflict of interest. Okay, then no open tenders and price bidding are offered. Okay, next. The third issue is engaging on corruption in tender and rewarding contract. Okay, tender rewards awarded to the other party do not have a stated approval from the board of director. Then management weaknesses as well as the award of contract and payment that violate the rules. Then they do not comply to the procedure regarding tendering and contract enforcement. Okay. Next, I pass to the next presenter to continue the presentation.
Next, we move to the comment and critics about the issue. So the main ethical issue about accounting fraud and corporate governance. An authorized contract between Perwaja and both domestic and foreign corporations demonstrate a lack of corporate governance since the internal control mechanism has failed. Three possible recommendations. First, due to the conflict of interest that favors certain director find a new responsible management to conduct the firm with openness. Corporate leaders should collaborate with government authorities to develop regulatory process that will decrease administrative degradation and increase openness. In result, more efficient will be outcome. High value human capital required in order to establish an accountability system. For correct procedure for a person or organization, an update code of ethic conduct should be developed. The ethical code should be encompass honesty and duty performance while adhering the rule of law. Next, the second one, take legal measure to resolve the issue without politic influence and refrain from accepting or receiving money. The investigation should be carried out in detail without involvement of any political influence party. Financial reporting should be done with high integrity and executed in a transparent manner. Employee and corporate behavior should be monitored by ethics committees, which should be formed and be developed. And the third one, policy implementation for whistleblower. This may be accomplished by adopting a whistleblower policy that ensures that these individuals remain anonymous and be protected. In addition to the ethics committee, internet hotline and web-based reporting tools, this whistleblower approach should contain a variety of easily available and clear access the line channel for reporting of any wrongdoings. The whistleblower policy should also provide clear instruction and process for internal and external reporting, provide enough feedback to whistleblower, provide suitable follow-up mechanism with timetable, and safeguard this individual from any precaution. In conclusion, because of lack of integrity in this case is a critical reason we are now experiencing what has been described as a crisis in leadership and trust. A deficiency of trust and indexes as the number one problem confronted by business and political leaders today. According to the several study, the integrity dilemma is not only tormenting our leaders, but also our society. Thank you.
Okay, I will present some recommendations on how dynamics among board members are important to improve governance structure. To begin with, the recommendations to prevent financial fraud. Managers and supervisors can bear responsibility for spotting fraud and other anomalies in their respective areas. Any apparent anomalies must be reported by employees to management. Managers and supervisors should be given a response card outlining how they should react in the event of a fraud report. Must audit committees effectively transfer many of their obligations to management in practice. Independent directors, board members must be independent and have experience and competence in the company's business sectors. The board was unable to recognize the warning signals of manipulation. Next, the recommendations to prevent misconduct by board of directors. Form a board-wide ethics committee to oversee the firm's integrity culture. This could be an audit committee, ethical and compliance committee, or ad hoc group formed to deal with new risks and difficulties. Members should have received specialized training in assessing an ethical culture. Establish explicit escalation rules to promote quality and safety. The leadership's response to concern brought to their notice defines product quality and workplace safety. Create a culture of honesty. Leaders have a significant impact on corporate culture. They set the tone for every firm. There are various things that leaders may do to aid in the development of a strong ethics culture. In addition, the recommendations to prevent engaging on corruption in tender and rewarding contract. Be familiar with your vendor. Background checks and integrity due diligence can help ensure that the manufacturers are trustworthy. Check on the financial stability and business culture of your suppliers as well as their interests and potential conflicts of interest. Create a favorable environment. An organization that tolerates bribery will likely face regulatory or investor scrutiny at some point. It is crucial to set the correct ethical tone throughout the company and communicate this to business partners. Make the appropriate hires. In emerging nations, most of the data entry is still done by hand, creating a perfect atmosphere for fraud. To reduce the amount of control each employee has over each business activity, division of tasks should be adopted so that no single person is able to supervise the whole transaction.
Last but not least, we can conclude that every company has their own challenges and problems while running in business, and we also can see how they handle and find the solution of the problem. Next, we also know how to classify and clarify the scandal based on the topic that we had learned in our class. We also provide some recommendation for the company based on the ethical issue that they're facing on. Lastly, we also get some lessons from this scandal, either bad or good lesson, and learn from this mistake so that the other company does not repeat the same mistake again.